Alrighty, yo, what is up, Knights? Aegis Rick here, back with some more DFO account dailies. Now, yes, this is a running series for me. I think we are on part 6 or part 5. I'm not sure. I'm not really keeping track. And this is actually one of my more favorite series to run because it kind of gives you a look as to what the current meta of the game is. I actually went back and watched some of the older account dailies, and you could just see how the meta of how the end game is like is kind of just wildly different as we go along here. And I'm just going to show off, yes, this is the update that we got that removed the ancient dungeon region and literally put a damn lock on it, and instead we've got the ancient dungeon region, sorry, the OV combined interdimensional dungeon. I guess we'll start off with that since that is the main focus. A lot of the other stuff is going to be a rehash of what we already did in the previous episodes, but I do want to show this off. We do have 3 difficulty levels, and we have 5 entry counts, and you're going to see very quickly how this dungeon works if you don't know already. But my character is actually quite strong right now. I have a 6-piece econ set, so I'm definitely not, gonna have any issues with this. Although if you're playing a little weaker character, like if you only have like a Halidom set, I think if you had a Halidom set, you're gonna be perfectly fine. And anything weaker than that, then you might have a little trouble, and I might suggest picking up the buffs that are strewn about on the top side right there, the little sword and shield. I'd pick that up because it does give you a little bit of boost, but my guess is, honestly guys, 30 seconds is pretty much the average you're going to need to clear any of these dungeons now, and this is indeed on the highest difficulty. I have a lot of things to say about this dungeon and how it works, but considering it's a daily that we're going to be doing now and I kind of have to do it, I'm going to have to get over it. But yeah, it is very easy, and it is very, it's appropriate for a daily, I think. One of the things about the old ancient system that I kind of liked was that it was indeed a daily. Once you did it 2 times, you have the option to do it more times than that, but really it was not beneficial for someone like me who was not in a really big rush to get geared, or to get, in this case it's going to be your ancient sets. You can also, you're farming both your ancient set as well as your OV set here. If you're not in a rush to get any of those, then the old system was kind of catered to you. You only had to do like 2 dungeons a day, and that's it. You sign on to the next character who gets 2 dungeons a day. Now, I don't know if you guys saw it right there, and this is the main reason why a lot of people like this region, is that, yes, the dungeon reward screen as well as the hidden gruff boss battle does drop legendaries. I mean, just straight up, just like that. Out of our 5 runs, we might get 1 or we might get 2. I've seen 2 before drop. So, right there, legendary. There is a lot of reasons why that legendary, even if it's not something that you're actually going to wear, is very useful for you, especially at the end game. Especially if you're considering crafting epics. If you're at that point where you have so many epic fragments that you can actually start crafting epics, you're going to need a lot of legendary souls, and this, by and large, without a doubt, becomes one of the most efficient ways to get it, which is kind of nice. We haven't had a very good way to get legendary souls before. Before, it was kind of much the same what I'm doing now, just doing a bunch of dailies and doing the quests. Although it's really nice to get that drop just like that without having to do, back in the day you used to have to do lion runs, and you'd have to do, I don't know how many runs that was, like 12, 15 runs or something, I think 12 or so, to get a lion run, and then you hope to get a legendary out of that, which is just 1 legendary. This is much easier, and I just got another one actually. I'm looking right here, I got a great glory cloth top. So I'm just gonna say that's a really nice feature, and I really like that the drop rate is definitely increased on the quest legendaries, and I'm not gonna complain about that. That's not the reason why I have problems with this system. In fact, I'm all for it. Okay, everybody needs legendary souls at some point if they're gonna be doing compounding, if they're gonna be doing crafting. Those kinds of things are necessary, and you're going to want them. Transferring legendaries, perhaps, which is something I did on this character. I'm putting a lot of focus on this character. I have the econ set, like I just said, but she has my old legendaries that my Elven Knight used to have, so I had to transfer all of those. And, like my Felier and my Gorgeous Burner, I transferred all of those, and those cost me a lot of materials to do that, but I'm slowly making them back up with this new daily. So yeah, like I keep saying, guys, is the one thing I want to make clear is that yes, I am completely supportive of them making it easier. What I'm not supporting of is the idea of them combining content that is unnecessary to combine. And that's really my biggest gripe, is that I don't understand why the system is dropping Chronicles. Well, I know why. I don't like it. I don't like the idea that this content is Chronicles I'm talking about. Content is merged with content that's supposed to be at end game, you know, legendaries. It just doesn't make sense. It's like a match made in hell, because one system is designed to be level 70 content and designed to be obsolete after you get your set. There's no real reason why you're going to use it, because it's designed for level 70 minus like maybe 1 or 2 classes who can use these Chronicle sets, but it's the content that's very quickly obsolete. And then they've gone about and merged it with content that is supposed to be timeless. The legendary farming. I mean, legendary farming is something that you do even if you have full epics or something, because you can still use the legendary souls, you can farm it on your high level characters, and you don't have to be bogged down with all the bullshit that is literally, none of this is useful to me at all. So I'm just gonna go to a disassembler and disassemble all of this, which is easier said than done. It's not the sheer fact that you can't disassemble it, it's that you can't do it all at once. So you gotta now click one at a time, very painstakingly. You have a lot of cursed gear, so you need to use a disassembler that's high enough level. One at a time. Here it goes. I know this is very minor stuff in the grand scheme of things, but it's just annoying. What can I say? I don't like doing that, but I do appreciate this and the Dharma symbols and the legendary souls. So that's the daily, guys. I mean, so you go ahead and switch to your next character that you're going to be farming the legendary set on, or there could be many reasons why you're farming this dungeon, guys. I'm going to switch to my monk here, and I'll just explain why I'm farming it on this character. If we just go over here, I think I made a point to talk about this in the last video, but there is an epic crafting system. Kiri does it, and what you need is basically legendary weapons. That's Western Romanticist as well as the Glacial weapons. So you can take those weapons right here, and you can take those weapons and craft them out of these right here. So that's what I'm farming this on a couple of my characters. My Dragonite, I want to get her and craft her the epic katana, and then on this guy I want to get him the epic totem. So that's why I'm farming it on this character. But again, like I said, you can farm it on pretty much anybody if you're getting him a legendary set, if you're getting him an OV set. And that's one of the conveniences about this dungeon, is that since they've combined it, now you can do both at the same time, and you know, not have to waste as much time. But like I said, one is gonna be done in like less than a week, and the other one is pretty much timeless, you know. So it just doesn't make much sense why we're combining. Anyway, aside from them actually dropping the legendaries, now we're also having the fragments right here are dropping pretty consistently as well. You can get a lot of them, and you use them to purchase it directly, the pieces that you actually want, which is a big boon, because it's a much faster rate than what it was before. I mean, I believe somebody did the math and they said that they can do it, get a legendary set for sure in like guaranteed 2 weeks if you're just doing it the 5 runs a day. And did I get, ooh, that sucks. Yeah, if you're just doing the 5 runs a day, you can get it guaranteed in 2 weeks. If you're doing resets, it'll take you less than a week to get a legendary set. So even less than that to get a swap set, because you only need 6 pieces of Chronicle gear, which is really easy to farm up, especially if you get one to drop, which you're getting a ton to drop anyway. So it's a very kind of rocket speed explanation of what this dungeon is, and you know, you're gonna have to try it out yourself to kind of understand why it's so easy. It's just because I've existed since the very beginning. I know how hard it used to be to get the Chronicle sets, and now time and time again they want to just try to add new systems to make it easier and easier. And the one point I want to make about it is that I know what the argument's going to be, and I keep telling people why it's not the right way to. It's not the reason I'm complaining. Yes, everybody's going to say, well, Rick, it's worth it because it's easier now. I don't mind it because it's easier. It's easier, it's easier. Well, that's not the argument I'm trying to make here. Again, I support the idea of it being easier, but that's independent of the complaint I'm making, which is why did they decide to merge the two systems? They could have just as easily made it easier and kept them separate. There's no point for them to... right there, we just got a critical disassembly off of, or a critical drop off the boss, and he dropped a lot more stuff than usual, which is nice. That's how you can get stuff a lot even faster than that. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's making it easier is it's independent of them merging the systems. They could have kept it just as hard, and we'd still have the same problem, right? Why do they merge the two systems? That's the really issue I'm having here. So, but again, something I'll get over pretty quickly. Like I said, it's not the end of the world to have to pick up all the items. Because again, if you're running solo, which is one benefit of running these kinds of things in a party, you can leave items behind. But you'll notice if I try to do that shit with this item, it's not gonna let me. It's saying, oh, there's an item left on the ground, which is kind of ridiculous. And even that wouldn't be half an issue if when I went to go disassemble them, it just accepted Chronicle gear. I mean, I don't see why it's trying to make it seem like these Chronicle gears are actually good. Oh shit, dude, I almost died, man. Why am I doing no damage, man? Dude, this guy is hella strong. Okay, did I forget to cast Shadow Clone? Almost fucking died. Now, because this is my account dailies, I'm going to be showing it off on characters that are not my strong ones. These are just shown off because this is a daily indeed I'm doing on just these characters right now, because I'm making their, I'm farming their epic weapon crafting. The other characters I am not farming this dungeon on, like my main characters, I'm not farming this dungeon on. So I obviously don't care about that crafting weapon, but why I will want to be doing this on weaker characters is because of their swap set, and they don't have a legendary set, which is, I'd say, less than half of my characters on my account now have a legendary set, or do not have a legendary set yet. So, no one-shot yet, man. Still not strong enough to one-shot yet. So yeah, less than half are characters that need to farm their legendary set, so I've made great progress in the old system with farming quest legendary. So because again, the daily was just, hey, do this dungeon 2 times and that's the daily. So I was able to do that on a lot of characters. I felt it very convenient, even though it took a little bit longer. It's still nice that I was able to do that. Now, one thing that hasn't happened yet is the gruff encounter. That's something I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, because I seem to have gotten it like multiple times on my Dragon Knight and all of that. But the Gruff encounter is also really easy. If you guys remember how old Gruff was, he was like literally the hardest boss in the game for a short period of time. And this guy's not nearly that. Oh god. Well, that's not gonna work, is it? Oh, nice. Okay, maybe I gotta wait for him to do that attack so I can get a little bit of time to beat him down. Pro tip. And that's it, guys. So yeah, hopefully we get the Gruff encounter soon so I can show you guys how hard it is. But alright, I figured I'd add this in here because I was farming on this character and he did actually get the Gruff encounter. You'll know right away when you start the dungeon if you get it or not, because what happens is, that's a cool move, by the way, new move for this guy. You'll know you get it because you get like this little flame that goes across the screen, and you can literally see him on the map. It's not like you're not gonna know, it's not gonna pop up on you, but you know, like getting the buff beforehand just because why not? Make the fight easier. The fight is a little bit harder than the boss fight, but I guess it's not saying very much. The boss fight's not that hard. But dude, this guy keeps backing up, dude. That's cheating. Okay. And here's the music again. It's been a while, Gruff. Oh, shit. Still have to deal with your bullshit stepping on the ground thing, huh? And I gotta remember this is not iframe, so okay, and that's it. There you go. Now you do get the appeasing stones. You get a couple of those, and they give you a lot of them. I think 16 right there. The thing is, when you get the Gruff encounter, you can only get him 2 times a week for him to drop the full rewards, and then after that, you can still get him to spawn. Oh shit! You can still get him to spawn, but what's gonna happen is he doesn't drop nearly as many things. It's only like really reduced, but it's really nice to get that guy to drop, as well as a bunch of DI. I don't know if you guys noticed that. So yet another reason why you might want to farm this shit on a high level character. Maybe you want the DI. It's not very much, but you know. Yet another reason why this kind of content is what I consider timeless, because there's still some stuff in there you might want to do on a high level character, but Chronicles is not one of those things. Anyway, moving on. Instead of just repetitively doing this, let's go ahead and take a break from that and do the other daily, of which I never have missed a single time since I've done this series. Since I've done these videos, I haven't missed doing this. And honestly, this is the one daily that I think is still, to this day, the most important. And some things have changed with it, so I do want to kind of talk about it, and that is TOD and TOA. Let's go ahead and make our way back to our Dragonite to kind of talk about it. First is TOA. We're going to do all of our TOA runs now. Hopefully this goes smoothly because I have failed TOA several times on several different characters. Luckily for me, my Dragonite is almost impossibly powerful in here. Like, she is not going to fail anything. Mostly, dude, one thing that's cheap about Dragonite is that if she's getting comboed, Astra still has some command sometimes. So if I'm getting hit right there, you see how I was getting like hit stunned? Astra still was able to attack. Same thing here, and that summoning of Astra actually gives me super armor. So it's even better because not only does it interrupt his attack with a little shockwave attack of his own, it can literally give me super armor to get out of the attack, even if it's a juggle combo. It's kind of cheap. Doesn't work for everything, but works for shit like that, which is good enough for me. So, and not to mention, this character for some reason is really tanky, which is not usually the case with my characters that are light armor a lot. By the time I get this skill, he's pretty much dead. So, surprising that, well, I guess not. She's a knight, but surprising that a light armor class is as tanky as that. Because my striker, let me tell you though, going up the TOD on my striker is very risky sometimes. Because I would get comboed by guys like him and just be dead. Oh shit, it's Dio. Always like fighting Dio because, oh my god, not a great start. What you gotta do with Dio is outsmart his time stop ability, but he already took out 50% of my HP. So not a great start. Anyway, when he's about to do the time stop, you better hope that you're far away from him already. So it's probably not the greatest. You want him to be on a certain side, perhaps. Oh god, I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna be seriously dead. If he gets me one time. This is a terrible start, but I think I can do this. And by I think I can do this, I mean there's no way in fuck I'm gonna do this. Ooh. I really need to be further away. Oh. Oh, okay. We survived that one. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh my god, you did not have hope in me. You did not have faith in me, guys. I didn't have faith in myself. I was about to edit all of this shit out. But, yeah. Get fucked, Dio. Oh my god, I can't believe I survived that. But yeah, the idea is, hopefully when he casts that skill and he throws his totem down and does the time stop, he's in the corner of the room and you're on the opposite end. That's kind of the idea. You have to get the timing down for that to happen, but obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Or I can maybe pop the Nen guard and interrupt it that way. There's a lot of different ways you can handle that, but the best strat, and that works for everybody, is just get good. So I'll tell you, one character I failed the most on is this guy, man. My monk is so squishy, and sometimes I just feel like we're just like duking it out hard. And when you reverse the controllers on a character who's already hard to control, you're fucking me up severely. Oh, stop grabbing me, dude. Dude, he jumped up and came down like instantly. What a cheater. Okay, I think I'm good. Hit him with this. Yes. That's fine. Just stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. That's fine. Nice. Yeah, sometimes you're just going out there duking it out hard. Now, one thing that we just got right now is a Tower of Anguish hidden pot, which really awesome item for TOA. It's an addition. One thing I did want to talk about is TOA did get changed. Most of the changes with TOA and TOD came from the fact that if you look at her shop right now, the cost of opening the pots for clearing the TOD and TOA are severely nerfed. I mean, this used to cost 5 mil to open up a TOD pot. Now it costs 1, which is huge, awesome. And then it used to cost, I think, 10 mil to open up the earring pot. And now it only costs 2. It's like literally reduced it by 5. It's only 20% of what it used to cost, and that's awesome for me personally, because luckily for me, I saved a bunch of these on my other characters, and mostly it was because I didn't have the 5 mil to pay. Well, definitely have the 1 mil to pay. So well worth it for that, as well as these pots costing 2 mil when they used to cost 10. Now this pot right here that I just got from the TOA is a random pot that you get after clearing a dungeon or clearing a TOA floor. You have a chance of getting it every time. I've gotten it since about 3 times or so on the 4 characters I'm running it. So you get to choose whatever epic weapon you want. I know this sounds awesome, doesn't it? Oh, any weapon, huh? So we'll pick the totem on this guy. But then the kicker here is this totem pot will cost 10 mil to open instead of the normal 2. So it does increase the cost by 5 again to the original cost. But the thing is, you get to choose the item, and look at what it says there. It's 85 to 90 epic guaranteed. So most likely you're going to get the 85, but seriously, we're paying 10 mil for a level 85 epic. This is a really, really good system because TOD, yes, it's nice, but almost certainly you're going to be walking away with a level 80, perhaps a level 75. Very rarely you're going to walk away with 85. This is basically guaranteeing an 85. So, and perhaps a 90. Most likely 85, but still the 85s are really good. They just got buffed up recently, so I would say A+ from my book. Change from TOA. That's the biggest changes actually with TOD and TOA is Simona here is selling them for way cheaper, and the TOA is dropping some of those pots randomly. So, and because of the changes actually to the TOD and TOA, one thing I really praised about the TOD is that even if you didn't care about any of the epics or any of the pots or anything that drops from it, the one thing that you can't deny is this is probably one of the fastest sources of money. Like in terms of time efficiency, I really can't think of a better thing to do than TOD. The TOD pot literally paid for itself. By the time that you finished it, you're gonna walk away with enough items sold to cost more than 5 mil. The 5 mil that it used to cost to open it. Now it only costs 1 mil, so you're literally getting paid to do the TOD, and you get an epic out of it. So it's like best of both worlds. Even if you're not planning on, because it's really designed for alts and stuff like that. If you're not even using it for alts and you don't care about any other character but your top few and they're already epiced out, I would still do TOD on those characters because, again, like I said, you're getting paid to do it. The TOD, that is. Now the TOA is a little bit different. It's a much harder dungeon. Again, if you're doing it on one of your mains, it's probably not very hard, but you know, they don't give you a lot of items in return. So if you just want to do this for money's sake, all you got to do is sign into a character, jump in the TOD, which I just finished TOD on this guy. So why did I come in here? Anyway, do TOD and you're set. Like, it literally took me 1 second, pick up items, and then boosh, next character. I'm just getting paid big for doing that. Like several hundred, maybe a couple 100K from doing that. Maybe 100K, I'm not really sure. Depends on what you get as the items rewards, but you get my point here. And that's if you weren't even worried about anything that comes from the TOD. Obviously, TOD gives you an epic pot to 75 to 85, so might as well use it for that. But that's why you're seeing me play these other characters. In fact, my character select screen right now is full of characters of which I already have level 80 or have already opened up a TOD pot. In fact, every character on my account by now, because I've done this daily so repetitively, every single one on my account, yes, even Creator, even Dark Knight have, okay, one doesn't, but you know, we don't talk about that one. Everybody has an epic, even the new Lancers, you know, I brought them up, he does, everybody does, guys. I mean, I've done TOD so religiously. Of the things I have opted to skip out on, guys, I've skipped out on events, I've skipped out on doing raids some days, I've skipped out on whatever. One thing I have not skipped out on almost religiously is the TOD one. I love it to death, and you can't take this away from me. Neopol, you've taken a lot of things from me, like Dark Elf Ruins, Mirror Arad, and all this shit that I used to do for my dailies, but one thing is certain, I have done my TODs every day. Even back then when there was no limits to how many times you can do TOD, I did TOD every day. Gosh, you guys remember those times? Remember when TOD had no limit? Fuck, I'm gonna go back to that. My dailies legit took like an hour when it was like that before. But didn't care because it was worth it. Dude, I got paid back then. I got paid back then. You know, that was back in the days when I could send my mercenaries out and not get completely fucked. by the mercenary system, and I actually got paid to send my mercenaries out. It's actually kind of abusive, actually. So that being said, they've changed the game for the worse in some cases. Okay, I'm not gonna say all cases. I'm just saying, you know, back in the day, there was a lot of things I liked about the game, and I don't understand why they got rid of it. Most importantly, and I think you guys will all agree with me on this, is the support system. I don't know anybody out there who's sitting there saying, oh, the support system sucked dick, and good thing Neopol got rid of it. Like, who was saying that? It just doesn't make any sense, honestly, why they got rid of it, but here we are. My theory is that they just got tired of coding for different support skills and balancing around it. That's my theory. That's the only thing I can think of. And even that sounds pretty stupid, so I mean, if that's the best I can do, like, I don't know what the hell Neopol's excuse is going to be. That's why they haven't given it to us yet. But anyway, TOD, really quick ordeal. Most of my characters, like I said, already have epics. Like this guy has Frozen Scythe. I don't even know why I'm doing it on this character again, because I'm going to get the Frozen Scythe again. Because it's a level 80, so I guess I'd be hoping for the 85, and even that's not very good. So maybe this guy should go up to TOA, but he's one of those guys who I need to farm ancient dungeons on. So that accounts for all of our TOD and TOA dailies, guys. The last daily, aside from doing ancients, because like I said, we'll finish off with the ancients, but one other daily that I'm doing is Ekon. Now you might be wondering, Rick, what are you doing Ekon, a character who already has Ekon? And yes, we are going to be doing it on my female striker. Well, the theory for that is a stupid one, but I'm going to do it anyway. I just saw this video. You know, sometimes I see videos that compel me to just be like, you know what? I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. Just saw a video of somebody clearing Bloody Lane in like legit, like I don't even know the time. 13 seconds? 11 seconds? I want to be that guy. And what is it going to take for me to be that guy? Well, it's going to take me a full Ekon set that's designed for speed. The current Ekon set that I have right now is designed for damage, which is obviously not speed. So, farming another one. I know this is a dumb idea. What am I doing, dude? I'm literally farming Bloody Lane so that I can farm Bloody Lane. But hey, you know what? I'm just trying to find an excuse to play this character, honestly. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd just be doing raids and hell mode like normal. So that's not a daily that I think of. So also, like I just said, my Dragonite at the beginning of this video, my Dragonite has already finished her set. So I used to farm that religiously every day, and she farmed that up very quickly. The character before that was actually my what character? Mistress. My Mistress farmed that pretty damn fast. Wow, that kind of lagged up my screen there a little bit. Excuse me. My Mistress farmed up that set very quickly. I mean, I don't think I missed a single day. One thing that did help me out a lot on that Dharma symbol farming was actually the new mercenary system. So I can't complain about that. I know I just kind of shit-talked the mercenary system, and it's not the greatest thing ever, but it does have some perks to it because I can use the Dharma symbol box. It actually gives you a lot. It actually farms up a lot of Dharma symbols that would have been harder to get otherwise. I mean, it's several, you know, it might have saved me a week worth of grinding or something like that. So, and I still have a lot left over, so I could probably give them to this character. Those Dharma symbols reset every week, so again, yet another reason why I'm definitely okay with that part of the mercenary system. Another excuse of why I want to play this character also, guys, is that this character did get changed with the recent patch. She just got a few new skills, well, one new skill in particular. I've already used them both up, but that's my second awakening is changed, and then I got this Shadowless Kick, which is an awesome skill. I mean, can't believe we didn't have that skill before, but basically what it is like a 3-hit whip kick or something. It makes like this whipping noise, has huge burst potential and pretty decent range. But the problem is it got rid of the Chain Destruction skill, which is one skill that I kind of liked a lot because it had a lot of X-axis range. Speaking of X-axis range, her Y-axis range for most of her skills actually got buffed up too, which is one of the biggest problems of F-Striker. She had like the most terrible range in the game. So Yeah, I'm gonna use the whip kick right here. Check it out. So cool. Kind of looks like a skill that's like literally on. And here's my new second awakening. A lot of damage. Has hold potential just like before, just not as much. Grouping potential and huge damage. But yeah, it kind of looks like a skill that's on the male striker. So I guess we're copying him now. But yeah, you know, I can live with that. It's a cool skill. I just wish I didn't get rid of chain destruction for it, because that's another skill that I actually rather enjoyed having. Sometimes my cooldowns get the better of me, guys. I mean, whip kick. Look at the burst, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so this character has also been the recipient of a new weapon. That is the Savior's Glory Boxing Glove. It's my third character I've gotten a Savior on. This one I had to get legit. So on my Elven Knight, I actually got it as a drop. Got really lucky. On my Brawler, I got it on as an early drop. I got her claw like she maybe had half of the rocks farmed up, and she got it. Problem is I'd already transferred a level 90 epic to her, so and that's stronger than the Savior, so I'll just leave it at that. But I do have one. I'm currently trying to refine it, which is yet another last of my dailies I'm going to talk about, but we'll get to that later. And yeah, this is the third character of which has their Savior weapon. Yes, this is actually before my Paladin, which I've been desperately trying to get hers, but no cigar. I haven't gotten any usable Saviors on that character yet. And I think I have like maybe, I want to say 16 reds, so I'll be getting it soon, just not as soon as I'd like. So anyway, that was Econ, guys. Did anybody drop any Econ gear like at all? Holy shit, man. Definitely not any light armor, huh? So I'm pretty much gonna disassemble all of that shit. Again, the whole goal of this is for me to try to get some speed gear. So if I don't have any speed gear that dropped, then no point. Couple nuances about the Econ set. Because I am doing so many hells on this character, and I'm honestly haven't been very fortunate with the drops I've gotten out of hells. I have been doing a lot of Anton on her. I don't have any qualms about transferring or changing the stats of this Econ set to become the speed set, but to do that, I'm going to need a ton of Dharma marks, and I'm pretty much not going to be able to do it because I'd had to do it for every piece. Legit hundreds upon hundreds of Dharma marks, which you can only get a few a day. So instead, it's probably easier for me to just get a set, another set, and just work from there. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. I know it's a big waste just because I want to be speed memes, but that's what I'm doing. I do want to take the time to do maybe one character of which I am not playing very actively. So let's go ahead and do my female gunner. And we'll do the Saint Horn. I do have a line of characters right there. Actually, the male ranger, female ranger right here, and my Avenger. I'm currently farming this dungeon as well. Going into level 3 now, we're obviously going to be struggling a little bit more. I don't think I need to get the buff on this character because she is rocking a full Haudum set, but just keep that in mind. If you're having trouble with this stuff, you know, get good on your character, which it might be too tall an order to ask out of me, but with this character. But either get good or just get the buff. Because the buff, I mean, it just takes like a few seconds to walk up there and actually go get it, so it's not a big deal. The buff does get a little bit more potent depending on if you get all of the buffs or not. As you'll see right there, you actually are going to be forced to be getting the speed buff, but if you get all 3 buffs, you actually, down here, get a full buff for getting all 3. So it's worth it to do that if you're... Honestly, I think it's worth it to do it if you're just anything less than completely geared. What's my combo I'm doing? Do the 1A and then transition directly into the 2A. Oh shit, did he iframe it? Ooh, nope. You tried, bitch. Still, you know, characters in full Haudum did it relatively quickly. I mean, we weren't doing the 30-second times, but again, this character is strong enough to do runs like this without any like hiccups at all. I honestly think, depending on the character, you can just walk in here the second you get to max level and just like kind of dominate. Especially if you're like fixed damage class or something like that. As long as you have like a decent weapon, you'll be good. Hell, even the rental weapon might be able to suit you well. Especially if you're like a fixed damage class or something like that. Gotta remember, this character did get a new skill, that one right there, so I'm having to play around with new characters here, so a lot of people got new skills, and so just trying out the strutting their stuff here. So female ranger, I do believe I do have her swap set already, so I did manage to get her swap set. That's mostly due to the events we've been having. So right now I'm just currently doing this for the legendary set. So there are very particular pieces of the swap set that you, or personally I think, are the best ones to pick up. Mostly because they kind of don't overlap with other sets. So personally I like getting the shoes, shoulder, belt, bracelet, and necklace. And then the last one's kind of a free baller. I generally get the magic stone. You could get the sub-equipment, but the problem is sometimes there is a sub-equipment that can +1. Like Time Traveler, Silver Watch, that's +1 for everybody. So just get the magic stone. You will be replacing this at some point whenever you start doing Luke. So these 6 are probably the best ones to choose. Top and bottom, you want to either save for tainted pieces or the Halidom top, Sea God pants. You know, all that kind of stuff you got to consider. The ring, there's a tech ring, so I don't like using the ring. So those are very key parts that you should be looking out for your swap set. And if you don't know what swap set is, I'll just have you know, I am working on a new guide series that I kind of had planned for a long time ago, talking about in-game gearing and stuff like that. So I may talk about that subject in kind of like its own little tangent. I might actually just make a video about it, what the swap sets are, how to get them. Obviously this is how you get them, very easy to get them nowadays, but mostly what the swap sets are and what people mean when you're talking about them. One thing that should be noted, oh shit, we didn't kill him, hopefully he doesn't run off. Okay. One thing that wasn't really highlighted is that in the latest update, when they changed all the epics and all the gears and stuff, they actually implemented something that is kind of a big deal when it comes to swaps. The stat swapping is no longer possible. It used to be able to wear things like Delos Glory or, you know, something like that increases your stats by like a certain percentage, and it used to stack, you know, with swapping. It used to be able to stat swap basically. Now you can't do that anymore. It's kind of like a minor thing that was mentioned in the patch notes, but indeed can no longer stat swap. So I was going to talk about that in the up and coming, you know, oh god, I'm getting dodged. Up and coming swap video, just kind of explaining that. Dude, I don't want to die, man. You just fucking get out of here. He dodged everything, man. Or she dodged everything. Kind of spam skills right there. It tends to work out, you know. Oh, shit. Well, oh wait, come on. Yeah, all right. This is my least favorite boss, only because I know the boss will just run away from you. Then get massive iframe for like 2 minutes. It's just what a stupid scripted waste of time, right? I guess that's one thing I don't miss about the old ancient dungeons, is that some dungeons were just, especially like Screaming Cavern, completely and utterly designed around wasting your goddamn time, which a lot of this stuff, only minor stuff are doing that. Now speaking of the old ancients, one thing I wanted to talk about with these new combined ancient dungeons is that the way that the legendaries that used to drop off the regular mobs and the mini bosses, the way those work now are they're completely and utterly tied to the Gruff boss fight. So now when you fight the Gruff, the random encounter Gruff, which sadly we have not gotten yet, whenever you fight him, he has a chance of dropping those legendaries for you. So I guess that's nice. But as far as the many times I've beaten him so far, I have not yet seen any of those old legendaries that used to drop off the mini bosses. And just to mention on that note too, Gruff also drops the boss cards. He actually drops a card box. I have yet to see that as well, but apparently when you use it, you generate a random boss card from the legendaries, or random card that you used to get from Ancient Dungeons. So basically, you have a chance of getting a card if you have the card box actually drop. You have a chance of getting a random legendary from the Gruff boss as well. So it's just kind of like they've consolidated all of the items and all of the cards that you used to get from Ancients, put it all on the Gruff boss fight, and have at it, which is, to me, is just stacking RNG onto RNG. I hate that kind of shit where they took something that used to be farmable, right? It's like if I wanted a particular legendary, I would farm that legendary dungeon, and if I wanted the boss card, I knew exactly which boss I wanted to kill or which mob I wanted to kill. If I knew, the legendaries used to drop in one particular dungeon, so if I wanted a particular legendary, I just farm that dungeon. It just doesn't make any sense. Why they have to do it like this, where now I have to hope that I get Gruff to spawn, and then once he spawns, I gotta hope that he drops this thing or the legendary that I want, which there are now hundreds to choose from, and then I gotta hope again that if it's a card that I want, I gotta hope that I get the card, and then hope that when I open the box, it's the card that I want, which is just ridiculous, huh? Last daily, guys. I mean, we can do that for as long as we want. The farming of the the combined interdimensional. This is the last thing I consider a daily, and it's sort of a thing that I'm doing right now, just because. One thing is the weekly dungeons. Don't forget to do your weekly dungeons. Those are, in fact, we can probably go over there now because I don't remember if I've done them myself. So before we go over here, let's go ahead and make our way to West Coast, and let's talk to this guy here, Joe Ferrer. I don't know if you guys know about these dungeons here, because it seems like every time I stream or something, you guys don't know it's there. Joe Ferrero has some weekly dungeons. He has Forgotten Lands. Everybody's forgotten that, but I have made videos on that. And these 3 dungeons are weekly dungeons, so they reset, have their reset count every Tuesday, I believe. And I have not done them for this week, which I think we're gonna have reset if we didn't. We're gonna have reset this like today, so I gotta do it. So anyway, point here being, these dungeons are really nice because they give you a lot of things that are kind of hard to farm, which is, I'm doing this dungeon because I want to point out that currently what I'm farming right now in this character is a bunch of powerful energy, which I have found that this place is definitely the most efficient. Doesn't take very long to do it. And I just have to get to this boss, and I get 50 for free. Bagoosh! So, I can do this dungeon 3 times a week and get 150 basically a week. 50 per dungeon, so that's one of the dailies. The other ones are, I'm not gonna go in them to explain them, but this one gives you souls right there, like it says, the loot table, and then this one gives you demon invites. So, and here's the powerful energies. It is very, very efficient to do. It's not a very long dungeon, takes you a few seconds, and make sure you do that every week. It's just something, just don't forget to do it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, just do it. The one thing that I'm doing as an actual daily though, every day, or not recently, because it's kind of a painstaking daily, is trying to farm a bunch of powerful energies, because I'm trying to get Refine 8 on this Savior Glory's Claw. It's been Refine 7 for like seriously like half a year, and I cannot get that last one. Every event, everything I've had, every chance I've had to have a refiner used, I failed it. So we're gonna make our way to Kalundal. This is kind of dead content, and it's really a bummer that this dungeon does not have optimal level dungeon on it anymore. It's not considered optimal level if you're level 90 already, which is just some dumb bullshit, because this used to be one of the most efficient dungeons to farm, period. I mean, look at how fast I just did this dungeon. It's literally one of the fastest dungeons in the game. It just takes you like 16, 17 seconds and you're done. Now what we're trying to do, that boss actually drops powerful energy, so I just got 3 right there. We're looking for a good buff right here. Obviously, we're going to keep retrying, but we do get a little bit of bonus benefit for Kalundal if you guys haven't done this dungeon region. It's comprised of 3 dungeons. Obviously, I'm farming this one, but They each drop different items. This dungeon drops powerful energies, and like I said, it's a very easy farm. Oh, well, I don't have to say anything. Just look, dude. It's like, it takes 16 seconds. If you have a good rotation, which I've done this quite a bit. I have a pretty good rotation now. Here it is. You just take a few seconds. He drops powerful energies, as well as a random bead pot sometimes, and most importantly, actually drops a bead pouch, which gives you even more powerful. Or excuse me, he drops a powerful energy pouch, which gives you even more powerful energy. So, gives you a bead pot right here. You use it to get a random bead. I've gotten lucky and I've gotten some unique beads before, but don't expect anything out of it. But just for your records, this dungeon right here is an excellent place to get. Well, it's a decent place to get money. I wouldn't call it excellent. It's a good place to get money, and if you're really strapping for endless eternities and you can't find them on the market or something, then you can get it there too from a daily quest. I think it's inefficient to do that, but just letting you know. This place though, I wouldn't say this place is the most efficient in terms of FP, but it is definitely the most efficient in terms of time, because it takes you only 8 seconds, or 16 seconds to do this dungeon. It's really time efficient. You're getting your powerful energies well worth the time that you're putting into it. The problem is it's not very FP efficient, so we're using 8 FP every time we go into this dungeon, so you're gonna definitely burn through your FP really quickly, which might be a desired result depending on who you are. But yeah, this is one daily that, I kind of only do this if I don't have any more dailies to do, honestly. I'm not in any huge rush to get my savior weapon to +8. We're fine, because even if I did, this weapon that I have on right now would still be stronger. I need to actually upgrade it to make it stronger than that. But anyway, I'm currently looking for a Mount Cullen buff that buffs this dungeon, because what it does is it'll increase the drop rate significantly, so I'll be able to get more powerful energies. But man, is the drop rate pretty low right now. You usually get like up to one or three powerful energies per run, and then the pot will actually generate more than that too. So been a pretty slow run so far. So so I did get one, but I also got the powerful energy bag right there, which is what I'm looking for. And still no buff, man. So powerful energy bag, easy as that. Some people will point out, you can still do guild dungeons. I still don't think that's an efficient use of your contribution, by the way. Guild dungeons are a really good place to farm. For DI, it's the best, I'd say. But for powerful energies, I think it's a little bit of a rip-off, but that's only if you're, really desperate. You need your shit fast. Your powerful energies fast, and you have a ton of contribution. Then I suppose that is not a terrible place to farm it. So, but like I said, it just takes a couple seconds. You also make money doing this. You're still getting regular dungeon clears, so you're still getting, two gear drops every time you do this dungeon. You probably don't even need to buff up or anything like I am right now. You just kind of turn on my two-way, which, by the way, this character actually, another excuse for me to play another character that got changed. This character, I've been using it every time so far. It's she got no really big changes aside from the fact that she picked up a new skill. That is an active Second Awakening. Bagoosh! I love how bursty it is. It's just instant cast. Dude, I cannot believe how many times we have not gotten the powerful energy buff. It can get basically 100% powerful energy drop or 200% powerful energy drop. So I'm not sure when they why they're deciding to fuck me over in this video, but there you go, I guess. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, this is one of the last dailies I do. I'm in no rush to actually finish this, but just letting you guys know, it's something you could do to get powerful energies. Not having very much success right now, but they won't give me the goddamn buff. But still got some powerful energy back. We'll still get powerful energies this way. Really quick way. Yes, it is completely a humongous waste of FP. You could do things like Gold and Silver Dragon Tournament and get powerful energies each floor. But that also costs endless eternity. This doesn't cost anything. If I got the buff, as well if I picked up a whole bunch of bags, this would definitely pay for itself in terms of that. But hey, if you want to go a different route, if you want to go the guild dungeons and do the guild dungeon daily, then I guess it's all up to you. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That was a little bit of what the account dailies look like for someone like me. And again, I remind you guys, these are just dailies. You know, this is not including things like raid and stuff like that. This is just somebody who has a max level account, who's doing max level kind of things. This is what I consider important for completing the goal of having everybody geared on my account. That's what you gotta do. I mean, dailies. That's what dailies, dailies fighter online. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you nights later.